sure how much of the corn planting with my new cheap planter came out in the video. I'm also not sure how great a job it did planting, but it used up the seeds I put in the bucket, and I don't see an awful lot of them laying on top of the ground. We're going to give it a shot and say sweet corn planting round one is in the books. I'm going to take my rake, go out there and just make sure there's no loose kernels laying on top of the ground, but that was an awful lot easier on my back than previous years. We'll just see how it works out. You could see as I was in this new cornfield, a cornfield that we have never worked before. It is loaded with rocks. There's at least 1,000,000 rocks out in this small patch. I wasn't thinking very well. I could have taken my rake and gone out where I had already tilled, and it makes a nice wide, soft bed. I could have just raked my rows and gotten the most obvious rocks out of the way, because everywhere I saw a seed either out of the ground or just barely covered was in front of or behind or with a rock right on the side that one of these wheels lifted the planting mechanism right here up too high. But we have learned an awful lot from that. If it doesn't come up well, we'll just come back in here and replant it. I'm really shocked that this very inexpensive little seeder or planter actually works really well. It's shocking to me how well it worked. And if I had just done my job and gone out there and kind of cleared a path for it to roll through, it would have gone an awful lot better. But that's in the past. We will be watching, and now we've learned that. We'll give this field about 2 weeks, see what happens, what comes up. Maybe we're going to get a little rain this afternoon or tonight, because we really, really need it. But we've got some other chores we're going to go attend to today. We're going to go move some shrubs, and we've also got to plant a few volcano bushes in some blank or kind of open areas along a fence line. So we'll go down there and get started on that. It's time to roll some more work out of here. Let's go do it. Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Sid's Blue Sky Farm. We woke up this morning to a very strange and unusual thing here for April 20th. There was a substantial layer of frost on the grass, on all our plants, on the rooftops this morning, and it really has me concerned. I just finished putting everything, all our soft plants and the corn seed in the ground on Saturday and Sunday afternoon. Now, this weather won't hurt the seed. There we only got to worry about birds and other animals digging the seed up. But these soft plants like tomatoes and zucchini and squash, lettuce, things of that nature, I'm just not sure how well they fared last night, because it was a big surprise to me. So what I thought I would do this morning is just take the camera and we'll walk around and take a look at all of the gardens, give you a little update on what we've managed to accomplish, and we'll see what's going on there. I don't think we can see any damage this quickly, but it won't hurt to just go take a look. So why don't we get things rolling this morning? Let's grab the camera and walk around for a little while. Let's start our walk around here at garden number 1. You can already tell the one tomato plant, that one on the far right, is already broken off by something. Maybe it wasn't planted deep enough. We did have some heavy wind yesterday. Some of these plants have some yellowing leaves on the sides and the tops, and maybe they look a little puny because they need a little water, but this is garden 1. It is tomatoes, banana peppers, and bell peppers. Let's take a quick step over and we'll look at garden 2. And here is garden 2. It's the covered beds. Things don't look nearly as puny over here. They've been getting a little bit more water. And, we'll just have to wait and see. This is tomatoes. It's zucchini and eggplant. And if you remember, we're still searching for something to put in that last row because we wanted to put the Japanese eggplant in there, but I can't locate them. And if we just spin the camera sideways, you can see garden number 3. It's a little bit bigger. One of the, I guess, the biggest patch we have here at the farm. And you can see my owl. It's on guard trying to drive birds and crows away. Not sure how well that works. But the sweet corn is planted. It's in the ground. And my very inexpensive planter worked out great. And yes, you can see a million rocks in that field. I didn't do a very good job of planting. I should have just raked those furrows out right before I ran the planter over them. And it would have worked out an awful lot better. And while we're here, let me give you just a quick update. Some of our pecan trees we grew from pecan seed are doing quite nicely here. Hopefully, we'll limit the damage to just losing 3 of those trees. Now let's take a quick stroll down to garden 4 and 5. And as we're walking by, let's just take one more look at this beautiful wildflower bed. Mentioned this the other day. It's just a container, I think a $5 container from Tractor Supply. And it looks a little duller this morning. Maybe that wind and the cold weather knocked it back a little bit, but it's still pretty healthy. We also trimmed up the butterfly bushes in this bed with the Rulia and our brand new small dogwood tree you see there in the middle. Those leaves look a little weird to me. Maybe I'm just in a panic over the cold weather, but I'm not sure. Just have to wait and see. We are also okay, it looks like, on the oak leaf hydrangea. We decided to put it here between the 2 very large crepe myrtles to give it a little bit of shade during the day. And finally, you can see that the rose bushes, get a view of a couple of them. They're doing an awfully good job. The big rose bush there has just tons of blooms and must be in the right place. My mother-in-law's bucket garden of 3 tomatoes looks awfully healthy. And the hosta and hydrangea bed seems like it's making it pretty well. We just need some rain. Here around our small bucket garden, if you remember, these were tomato plants that get frost burned significantly. 2 of the 4 had some damage, but you'd be hard-pressed to pick out the 2 that were damaged. They have made a tremendous comeback, something I did not think they would do. And also, just look at those 2 beautiful baskets I picked up this weekend. 2 petunia baskets that just add a lot of color to this little corner. And as we make our way down to the other gardens, take a look at this little bed. All the rose bushes are doing really well in there. I think that dogwood is pretty healthy. And the spirea has never bloomed until this year. It's got 5 or 6 really nice white blooms on it. So I don't know what's changed, but I'll be glad to take it. And just across the roadway here, I showed you this plant last week, this rose bush. It has just exploded. I'm trying to keep a little bit more water on it. We've had this plant in this spot for 3 years. This is the first year it's bloomed. And I hope it continues to do well. Now let's make our way down to the gardens. And here we have garden number 4. Those are sweet potatoes on that first bedded row. The beets are coming up right behind it. And that last bed there has onions in it. The rest of this area, because it's nice and sandy, has cantaloupe and watermelon. And historically, they've done well. And just from standing here, I see most of them are up out of the ground already. And that's great. Good to see those seeds coming up. Let's take a look at garden 5. This is the garden that we refer to as the big garden. The tomatoes, they don't look all that bad, but some of this zucchini here definitely has some burn to the leaves and some wilting already. That was not here Saturday. Those plants looked an awful lot better than that. So we'll just hope for the best. They don't look terrible, but they don't look as good as they did just a day or so ago. The other half of the garden, our cucumbers are doing nicely. They're up and going. The let's see, that is the yellow squash in that second row over. And then just a little bit of lettuce beyond it. Only 4 sets out there. And in that back corner, if you remember, we decided to put a little bit more sweet corn in there just because we had plenty of room. Those are, I think it's 6 very short rows, so not a lot of space, but we just decided to use our remaining seeds and see if we could get it to come out of the ground. We have one more garden to look at, and maybe we'll stop and look at a couple other plants on the way. This weekend, while I was bush hogging, spent a little time taking a break down at the cabin by the pond. It's really a nice place to sit on the porch, have a little shade, and just get out of the sun for a little while. Everything's shaping up nice there. And it's just about time to start on our interior work on the little cabin, see if we can't get it insulated and some paneling. We've got some outdoor siding that we're going to turn into indoor paneling. We'll see how that works out. And just off to the side of that area, you can see our second pecan orchard. That first tree there looks awfully good. Big green leaves on it. 2 mahan trees, and then another home-raised pecan tree. Everything down here looked great Saturday, and so far, from what I can see here, it looks pretty good. From right here in the shade of our largest remaining pecan tree on the property, we can look out and see the 6th garden, and it is our field corn patch. And yes, it's a little bit of an afterthought. I only put in, I think, 6 rows down there of field corn that we had left over. If it grows, it's fine. If it doesn't grow, no problem. One thing I did find was an awful lot of watermelons coming out of the ground. If you remember, we had watermelon mixed in with the corn last year. So I transplanted a few of those little tiny watermelon plants to that untilled area right behind the field corn. They probably need some water. I don't know if they're going to make it, but once again, those are free plants. If they make it, they make it. If they don't, we haven't lost much. Along the side of the pool house, the crepe myrtles and the volcano bushes are looking awfully good. Got a few new volcano bushes in that mix that we planted on Saturday late afternoon. Hopefully they'll grow up and be as healthy as this one right here. The old Massey Ferguson pulled this 5-foot bush hog as well as we could have expected on Saturday as we finished up all the bush hogging. It's just a great old tractor. Really lucky to have come across this thing when I did a few years back. Now I want to show you something that really makes me very happy. If you remember, I drove over this tree with my tractor when we were building that fence, and I broke it off. Well, I tried to put some tape around the damaged area where one limb was remaining. I don't think that's going to work out, but it is growing out from under that tape where the trunk of this small tree is still healthy. And yes, that is I think it's a pecan tree. It may be a walnut growing up beside it. Before too long, I've got to transplant that small tree and get it out of there. And here around the pool side, everything looks pretty good. We had quite a few leaves in the pool after the heavy wind yesterday and that cold weather. Got most of those out, but a few have blown back in. I'll just turn that top skimmer on and let them pick it up later on today. We need rain. You can see the pool's down a good 5 or 6 inches from the most fill point of this spring. We were supposed to get some rain this weekend. We got nothing, not one single drop. And it is really getting dry around here. Okay, I think that's pretty much it for the grand tour. We'll go back up and close everything out in just a second. I don't want to forget to show you one quick picture of the zinnias here in our bed just off the pool. These plants did so well last year. I hope they do the same thing. They had a lot of color and they just last no matter what, dry or wet, even in the summer heat, they just do fantastic. And that's a quick tour around the farm this morning. I may be completely overreacting to this cold weather, but 41 degrees on April 20th was just very shocking to me. I did not expect that temperature, and I really did not expect the frost. It was, it was very noticeable. It wasn't light. It was on every building and covered the grass. So what do? You just have to wait and see. Now, for those folks who got out early and have corn out of the ground, I would be more worried. Neither our field corn or our sweet corn has had time to come up, so I think we're going to be safe there. You just don't want to lose anything after you go out and you work and you sweat and you pay for plants. It's not exactly the way you want to start your garden season, but maybe we'll be okay. One thing that would help every single part of this place is a good rain. And I don't know when we're going to get it. I think the last forecast I saw was maybe 10 days out. It's going to get really dry around here before 10 days is up. But again, it's the weather. There's not much you can do about it, but just go along with it. I hope you enjoyed our walk around the farm this morning, checking out the gardens and a few of the planted areas. It really is coming along quite nicely. I always think back to that first time I saw this place and it was just like, man, that's just a lot of bushes. It's very different today than it was back then, and we hope to keep it that way. But I think what we'll do is wrap this video up. You saw our earlier work in the video, and today is our concern time. But look, we'll just deal with it. If we have to replant, we replant. Not much you can do other than just figure out what's next. I hope everybody has a great week. Take care of yourselves, and we will call that a cut. We are out of here. See ya.